Rashad Mitchell. Second say episode. Started this last week. And do the same thing again. It's gonna be very interesting. I mean, last week you had the college football recap. Um, Excuse me, you had the college football week number 0. What stood out was the I had Iowa State and the University of Kansas State, but Iowa State won by a score of 24-21. Rocco Beck had 2 touchdown passes, 183 yards of receiving. Excuse me, 183 yards passing yards, 2 touchdown passes. And they was able to win, get the job done, and that was a big win for them. Start off the season in Dublin, Ireland, and win the game in a close one. So that's what stood out last week. That's the only matchup that featured two ranked opponents. So that's a good way to start with that. So also let's move on to the games for tomorrow. I mean, you got some excellent football games. Going to start with the big one, number 1 Texas, preseason number 1. Arch Manning mania is in effect against the defending champion Ohio State Buckeyes, number 3 team in the country, and see how that game goes, man. It's going to be a very interesting game. I think Ohio State's going to win. I think they're going to be tired of hearing all this stuff about Arch Manning and Arch Manning this, Arch Manning that. I think they're going to be ready to prove that they are actually I could win that championship, even though they got a new quarterback. I think his name Julian Sagan, and obviously, but they still got Jeremiah Smith at the quarterback position, at the wide receiver position. He's still a big time wide receiver in his own right, Jeremiah Smith. So keep your eyes on that. But I think that's going to be a very good game, very close game. But I think Ohio State will close it out and win the game. Again, Rocco Beck, he had 2 touchdown passes, 183 yards passing between he played for Iowa State. They beat Kansas State last week, 24-21. So I think Ohio State gonna win, man. That's gonna be a game at 12 noon on Fox. That's gonna be a great game to watch. Uh, that's gonna be a good one to start the week. Then you have at the same time at 12 o'clock at noon, Syracuse will face number 24 Tennessee. That's gonna be an interesting matchup. When you talk about a non-conference matchup, that could be. I think Syracuse is gonna pull off the upset. I'm going with Syracuse to beat Tennessee. That's in the Aflac kickoff. That's a non-conference matchup. Other games that stands out that's interesting is obviously number 4, Clemson Tigers against the 9th-ranked LSU Tigers. That's going to be a good game. Keep your eyes on these 2 top-flight quarterbacks, Clemson's Cade Klubnik and LSU's Garrett Nussmeier. Those 2 quarterbacks could possibly be in the Heisman running this year. Dabo Sweeney knows how to get it done. I think his ability to win big games, the talent that they got, I think that's going to be enough to get it done against LSU. I expect them to win by double digits. We got another interesting game, Battle of Blue Bloods, Alabama, eighth ranked, going against Florida State on the road. This is about Blue Bloods. Florida State obviously is looking to bounce back from a 2-10 record. They got 50 new players on this team, including new quarterback in Thomas Castellanos. So Florida State is 2 touchdown underdogs. I think it's going to be closer. I think Alabama should win with quarterback Ty Simpson, and also got a great receiver in Ryan Williams to throw to. So I think Alabama in a close one. Then you got number 13th ranked South Carolina. They play host to Virginia Tech. That's on a neutral field in Atlanta. I like Virginia Tech in the upset. And then you got a rivalry from yesteryear. The Fighting Irish Notre Dame against the Miami Hurricanes. The top 10 matchup. Number 6, Irish. Number 10, Miami. Interesting game, The Irish freshman quarterback C.J. Carr will be starting his first game as a collegiate quarterback. And the Canes are going to have Carson Beck, who's a transfer from Georgia. He has a lot of experience, know what it takes to win championships. But the question marks with Miami abounds as far as the wide receiver position. In particular, C.J. Daniels, not Carr, so to trade guys like that. Who will be the breakout receiver between those 3 receivers? Then defensively, the Canes will have a new defense coordinator at the helm, and Corey Heatherman will have very good success Um, Last year with the Minnesota Golden Gophers, they were ranked in the top five in total defense, and it's definitely going to be a huge boost for Miami defense. Also struggled in the scoring defensive department. They didn't do so well as far as scoring defense. They gave up 25.3 points a game. So that's not a representation of the typical old school Miami Hurricanes defense of the past when they were really championship quality. So you'll see what happens on Sunday night. So that's the storyline in these games. I expect Miami to win a close one. So I expect that to be the narrative, man. I think it's going to be some interesting college football. Also, last night, South Florida upset number 25 Boise State. Obviously, they don't have Aston Jeanty no more. He's playing in the NFL with the Raiders. They lost 34-7. So they had the first upset of the college football season, in a sense. Right now, you got Georgia Tech, unranked, playing unranked Colorado. Deion Sanders' new season as a coach once again. They right now losing 13-10 in the third quarter, so that's a very close game. Also, you got Baylor and Auburn. That game is on right now. Um, I'll see what the score is with that one. That game's going right now. See the score is right now 17-10 in favor of Auburn. Right now, 17-10 in favor of Auburn. Right now, I think it's the third quarter. Looks like, but Auburn is winning 17-10. All right, let's get into it, man. We're gonna get into the NFL season, man. The season's gonna begin on September 4th. It's gonna begin with a bang because the Dallas Cowboys obviously traded Micah Parsons. He's now a Green Bay Packer for exchange for um, defensive tackle Kenny Clark, who's a three-time Pro Bowler. I think they got some draft picks in the mix, but I ain't paying attention to that. It's about the player that they got back in return. Defensive tackle Kenny Clark. I know he's a three-time Pro Bowler for the Packers, so he's a guy that's going to probably bolster up the run defense, get a good pass rush. We'll see. But Michael Parsons is a superior talent because he has 52 and a half sacks in his career. Became the highest paid non-quarterback ever in league history. 4 years, $188 million. And they play the Philadelphia Eagles on September 4th. The Dallas Cowboys see how they adjust without Parsons. We'll see what happens with this trade moving forward. Also, when you look at let's get into the NFL season predictions and look at the preview of the NFL season 2025. I got the Buffalo Bills win the AFC East. I got the Houston Texans win the AFC South. The AFC North will go to the Baltimore Ravens. I got the AFC West going to the Kansas City Chiefs. I got the wild card teams. I got from the AFC will be the Cincinnati Bengals, the Denver Broncos, the Los Angeles Chargers. In the AFC Championship game, I got the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans playing in the AFC Championship game. I think the Texans are a team on the verge. Got a very young coach in D'Amico Ryans, quarterback C.J. Stroud, running backs like Nick Chubb and Joe Mixon in the backfield, wide receiver Nico Collins. You got including defensive standouts like Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson Jr., and Derek Stingley Jr. So I think this team's going to be really, really good. I think they're going to move forward. They're on the verge of trajectory to greatness. I think they're very talented, but they'll fall short to the Buffalo Bills. So I got the Buffalo Bills going to the Super Bowl. So in the NFC, I got the eventual winners will be Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Detroit Lions, the Los Angeles Rams. The wild card teams will be the Green Bay Packers, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Washington Commanders. In the NFC Championship game, I'll have the Detroit Lions and the Rams playing for the right to go to the Super Bowl 60, which will be in Santa Clara. I got the Lions will prevail. I think they're going to advance to Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, California. I think Super Bowl 60 will be between the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. This game, the Super Bowl is refreshing because it will be fresh and new because these two teams never met each other in the Super Bowl. And I think these two NFL franchises has never won a Super Bowl. And yes, the Buffalo Bills was in the Super Bowl 4 times, but that was in the 90s. So I think they're going to get back. I think Detroit Lions, they have never won a Super Bowl, never been to a Super Bowl. I think Jared Goff will have a big season throwing the big time receivers like Amon Ra, St. Brown, Jameson Williams, tight end Sam Laporta. Their running game is going to be potent still. You look at the dynamic duo of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Aiden Hutchinson is coming back from his injury. I think he's going to have a big season. The rest of the defense should be healthy and wholesome. Should be one of the best defenses in the league. So I got the Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl this year for 2025. I think they're gonna make it to Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara. That's it for the college football, the NFL football Friday with Rashad Mitchell. Very brief, short and sweet. That's what I have playing in the Super Bowl. Detroit and the Buffalo Bills. That's what I got, man. I think that's gonna be a great matchup, refreshing. That's what I think gonna happen, and that's what it comes down to, as far as that's concerned. So that's it, man. I'll be back on Monday for classic books with Rashad Mitchell, getting to um the Bible study time, life and spirit study Bible. I'm definitely gonna be getting into that. Be getting into chapter 4, 5, and 6 of Galatians, and also get into um being Sugar Ray. I think that'll be in chapter 3. So that'll be on Monday. So continue to subscribe. Try to subscribe the best way you can. I appreciate the support. Get it up as much as possible. Appreciate it. Let's look at this trade with Mike Parsons. Obviously, it was I think it was like draft pick. Yeah, 2 first round draft picks. So the Cowboys trade Michael Parsons to Packers for 2 first round draft picks. Defensive lineman Kenny Clark, all defensive pro, all pro defensive end. I didn't know he was that good at that position, but he's really good. So see if he works out. Everything works out for the Cowboys with that trade, getting Kenny Clark for Michael Parsons, getting traded for Strange for Kenny Clark and 2 first round picks. Right, so that's it, man. So at least be said. So I'm gonna keep moving. Yeah, Auburn is winning 17-10 in the third quarter. So that's it, man. Done. So I need to be said for the night. So I'll be back on Monday, man. Thanks for the support. Thanks for tuning in. Till then, talk to you on Monday. For football Friday with Rashad Mitchell, I'll be back next Friday to recap what took place in week one. Got to cover with that. It's a great one of the best week ones seasons to start the season for as week one for certain teams, most of the teams in college football in recent memory, man. Got some good games. Then go over next Friday, the Philadelphia Dallas game. I think there's gonna be a game on Friday, I think, in the NFL. Kansas City, San Diego. I mean Los Angeles Chargers, I think they're gonna be playing in Sao Paulo on Friday. Let me check that real quick before I sign off. Trying to get this information real quick. So I'm quite sure that there's gonna be a game next Friday in the NFL was the Chargers and the Chiefs in Sao Paulo. I think Brazil somewhere. Another thing that's interesting is that the Cowboys play the Packers on September 28th. So that's gonna be an interesting game. Yeah, the Chargers will play Kansas City on September 5th in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Well, you look at week number 4, man. Keep your eyes on that. Mark your calendar, man. Whether you're a Cowboy fan, not a Cowboy fan, or a Packer fan, the Packers play the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, 8:20. That's gonna be on NBC. So keep your eyes on that. That's gonna be a good one. So keep your eyes on that matchup. It's September 28th. on a Sunday. That's a Sunday night football game, Green Bay versus Dallas. So Michael Parsons will be coming back to play his former team on September 28th. That's week 4 of the regular season. That's what I believe. Yeah, week 4. Week 4. Okay. That's it, man. That's it. Until then, week 4. Yeah, that's it. Week 4. That's it for the night. Talk to you on Monday.